That was supposed to be the last exhaust fan I put in that bathroom. So, of course, I threw the installation instructions away. I didn't have my step-by-step guide when it came to taking it out earlier today. I put this thing in probably 10, 12 years ago. I don't even remember, but it died. It wasn't working so well, so I had to replace it. And so I'm up with my hands in the ceiling on a ladder in my bathroom earlier this afternoon, trying to figure out what I did to put it in this way so that I could take it out. I'm looking at a result that I didn't like anymore, by the way, and I'm trying to figure out how to back my way out of it. Took a little time, took a little patience, but I got there. And as I was moving through it, as I took one part out, disconnected it, removed it, threw it away, I was left with another situation. I was able to kind of re-engage myself with where I was mentally a decade ago. And eventually I got the thing out. Didn't have to break anything in the process, which was good. Didn't hurt myself in the process, which was even better. And I was left with a new situation to put the fan in. So everything works better than it did before. That's the good news. But I told you that story so I could tell you this one. And it's interesting. It wasn't until just a few minutes ago when I realized the parallels here. Because earlier this morning, I took my son to get a haircut, and I'm texting with my friend Mike Simmons. And if you don't know Mike, if you don't follow Mike, his information is going to be in the notes below. You should follow him because he's a really bright guy. And he and I get along really well because we think about things in a similar way. And I was working through something this morning, and I said, Mike, hey, I got this situation. What do you think about it? And he says, Jeff, start at the end and work backward. We were talking about a sales process here because that's what we do. It's all glamour over here. Saturday mornings, we're with our kids doing stuff, and he and I are texting each other about problems we're trying to solve for our clients. This is not a novel occurrence. It happens pretty regularly. But we're knocking some ideas around. He's like, Jeff, you got to start at the end. We got to work backward. Remember that. So when you're looking at your sales results right now, and you're wondering how you can improve them, when you're wondering how soon better results are going to come from, instead of trying to move forward, instead of just trying to rip something out and put a new thing in, think about what got you to where you are. Think about the steps that it took to get you to the place where you are. If you don't like the results that you're getting, the chances are that you didn't do the things that you needed to do along the way in order to get those results. And I see salespeople, I see sales leaders, I see sales teams saying, hey, we're not getting the revenue that we need. Let's bring someone new in and let's just have them get at the revenue. And sometimes that works. And a lot of times we forget that the underlying foundation is what's really holding us back here. It's not a mention, or it's not a situation where you can just change your closing language, or you can add a new piece of software, or, hey, AI is going to solve everything for us. No. If you don't have a solid foundation upon which to build, the whole house comes crumbling down. So what I'm going to ask you to do is put yourself as closely as you can to where I was with my hands in the ceiling trying to retrofit how this exhaust fan went into my bathroom 10 years ago. Maybe that's how long your sales process has been in play. And maybe it's not working for you anymore. Or maybe it looks like it's working, it sounds like it's working, but the results just aren't what you want them to be. Break it down a step at a time. So if you're not getting the results that you're looking for, if you're not getting the revenue that you're looking for, well, maybe it's because you're not having the right conversations with the right people. Maybe you need to evaluate what the right people are, or who the right people are, and what those right conversations sound like. And then in order to have those conversations, you need to think about where those people are going to be. Are they going to be at trade events? Are they going to be sitting at their desk? Are they going to be on their cell phones? Are they going to be on social media or LinkedIn? Are they going to be at a physical address? Where can you put yourself in front of those people in order to have the right conversations with them so you can start sales processes with them? And then let's take a step back again. Well, if we're going to have those conversations, what should those discussions be about? Should they be about our product? Should we throw a bunch of results at them and try to dazzle them with how great we are and how many companies and other logos we've worked with in the past? Or should we start by just suggesting that since they look a lot like companies we've helped in the past, then we can probably help them with something they're stuck on and maybe start a problem-oriented discussion with them? And maybe that means that we need to start thinking about the problems that we solve for customers like them and the outcomes or results that they can expect as a result of those problems being solved. And maybe that takes us back to a place where we really need to think, dare I say it, like marketers, and identify if we have the right solution for the right people that we're trying to reach. And then it comes back to, do we know what we really do for people? It's been 10, 12 years since I last replaced that exhaust fan in my bathroom right upstairs. A lot has changed in those last 10 or 12 years. That technology won't work anymore. It didn't. It stopped working for us. Something similar to it, something a little more upgraded, something a little more refined, something that was a better fit is what I ended up installing. But it wasn't until I took everything apart step by step that I realized how I could install the next one. At the end of the day, there's going to be less moisture in my bathroom. The fog is going to clear a lot sooner. I have teenagers in this house who like to take long showers, so there's all the effects of removing that humidity from the bathroom and what it does to the rest of the room, the rest of the house. But it really, in order to deconstruct, or in order to get where I wanted to go, I had to deconstruct what I was working with at that time. And that's a big job. It's something that I put off for a long time, even though we had the replacement sitting there, but I didn't want to address it because it felt like a bigger job than it was. But here's the thing. As I took it apart, I realized how simple everything was. And the whole project itself probably took 45 minutes. It might take you a little longer to reconstruct your sales process, but you are going to learn so much by deconstructing the one you have. It might just be the key to your results in 2024. I'm doing this for a couple of clients right now. And the revelations that we're getting, the things that we're learning, they're not always fun to learn. But the thing about the truth is undefeated. So when you recognize the truth and when you learn that thing that you needed to learn, even if you don't like recognizing it in the moment, you know it's the thing that will propel you to move forward. So, a couple of metaphors, a couple of personal stories today. Little insight into what my Saturdays look like. But I want you to think differently about the way you are approaching your process. Because when you focus on a process, you'll get results. But when you focus on results, you get frustrated. And that's probably where you are right now as we're well into Q4, barreling toward the holidays. Your results may not be where you want them to be for this year. But if you want them to be on the right side of things next year, don't ignore your foundation. Don't ignore your fundamentals. And start at the end and work backward so that you can see how you can move forward in the future.